warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, Ramadan generally means the month of blessing, but to me, it's a month where I connect more with my Creator. It's a month where my heart is free of evil things, or generally things that intoxicate the mind. So basically, that's what Ramadan means to me. Special because in the month, during this wonderful month, you tend to see people in a different light. You tend to see people moving towards each other, people going to places to worship at the same time, people keeping to time of worship, people, when it comes to the iftar, the togetherness of people around, your family, the coming together with family. You don't see that basically on a normal day or during the month of Ramadan. That togetherness is brought into light more and more. The rich care for the poor care for the rich. There is no segregation anymore. Everybody, we are all joined together because of this one beautiful month. Same as always, I intend to get closer to my Lord, to the Allah the Most High. You know, like during Ramadan, everybody has a goal that is set. My goal every Ramadan is to get more closer to Almighty Allah. For me, every Ramadan is always a set list of things to do. Try to finish the Holy Quran, itikaf, help the needy, and then better yourself as a human being. So this Ramadan, what I'll be doing differently, I think, is to be giving more alms to the poor, and then going for itikaf, because it's something I haven't been to before, so I'll be going for itikaf this Ramadan. Apart from work, I play football, then I go to tafsir. So I juggle both of them. I won't lie. I like to play football a lot. So days I'm not playing football, I will go to tafsir, definitely. So that's what I'll be doing this Ramadan. The normal Ramadan tradition is the first day where you don't know, you always in front of the TV trying to getting to know, is it today, is it tomorrow, are we having the prayer today, are we having it tomorrow? You know, the joy is always there. So every Ramadan it's like that. That's a tradition. We always waiting for the news, calling people, have you started Ramadan? Have you started Ramadan in your own place? Have you started here in your own place? But then at the end of the day, alhamdulillah, we always start with a good note. So that's it. Water. I break my fast every time with water. Yeah, it's advisable, and I think it's the proper way is to break it with dates, dabinu. But you have to, places where you are, most of the times I'm always at work when I'm breaking my fast. So, and then, you know, every environment is not where you break your fast. Meaning that where I work, it's probably water in the fridge. So sometimes I get dates, sometimes I get apple or oranges, but then once it's time to break, I just take water, then I go downstairs to pray before I start heading home. And then later when you get home, the food on the table with the family, and so on and so forth. I would say Surah Al-Qiyamah, because when you read Surah Al-Qiyamah, there's this intensity in it, where Allah is talking about the afterlife, where He's talking about, we will wake you up as human beings. Do you think we will not resurrect you? Do you think your bones will not be brought together? Those verses get to you, because you feel that after everything, so there's a judgment day, there's this second coming where you have to answer to every deed you've done. So during Ramadan, when I read that story, it always gets to me that, what if you just die today and that's it? So that surah always touches me a lot, because it really sinks deep to change your ways. It should not be only when it's the month of Ramadan that you tend to want to make things better, your life better as a human being. You have 11 more months to do so. But then the month of Ramadan is what that brings people closer to Allah. But then that surah always gets to me whenever I'm reading it during the month of Ramadan. I have only done that once, and I think I'll try to improve on that, trying to complete the reading of the Holy Quran. There is no obstacle in it. There's no obstacle stopping. There's nothing hindering me from it. It's just me, myself. So I'll try to improve on that. The most memorable Ramadan will have to be my final year in the university. And it was memorable because there was a platform where there's this iftar program that we do. So there's a platform which they set for us, which is called the iftar program. We come out at, I think after Asr, everybody comes out. We are put into groups, like 22, 23 groups, and then you have group leaders, and then you have like overall group leaders. So that year I was opportunity to be the overall group leader with one of my other colleagues, and then everybody's given plates, like from the first table to the last table, you're all given takeaway plates, transparent plates to hold, and then the school, the MSSN, that is the Ramadan committee and the Muslim community of the school, they set up the program, the iftar program for all students during the month of Ramadan. Whether you're Christian, whether you're Muslim or Christian, you're allowed to come. You understand? So there are fruits at the mosques, and then there's food that will be served to you before you make your prayer. So during that time, what makes it more memorable is there is this togetherness and love and the attitude of sharing. You don't want to take too much because your brother or your sister hasn't taken what they are supposed to take. I remember all this time, my name is always in everybody's mouth. I've not eaten. Calm down. It will go around, and it always goes around. No matter how they rush, no matter how everybody joggles up and down, there is always, you just see them pull out a cooler from nowhere. There's extra food for everybody. And then be it the servers or the table heads, the leaders or the coordinators, at the end of the day when we are exhausted, we sit down and then we have our own meal to have the discussion. It's something that we always look forward to every day. And it happens for like throughout the month of Ramadan. And also, we took ourselves, we made this pact that we always wake people up during Sahur. So once is 1, 2, we start to make noises. Like when you don't answer us the normal way, we start to hit your door, start to call your names, start to make funny noises from the male hostel to the female hostel. Everybody start to hear us that, oh, it's time for Ramadan. And there's this funny slang we used to make, like, wake up, wake up. And then everybody knows that, oh, it's time to wake up. So I think that's by far the most memorable Ramadan for me. Subsequently, other Ramadans I've had after my final year, it's always been, I was trying to reflect back. Wow, like, it has never been that exciting since then. So that's what makes it memorable. Right now, I'm a freelance graphics designer, brand developer. That's what I do for a living right now, currently, pending employment. Well, I would say, based on the activities that pertain what I do, sometimes it's a daily thing, and sometimes it's not a daily thing. People might want to brand or make logos, flyers, and banners at any point in time. So it now depends on how I try to schedule what I have with what is going on right now. So, I wouldn't let any work I have obstruct my sahur or my iftar or my prayers. So there will be a time I will set to probably maybe once I finish my sahur and have my morning prayer, I will take that time to do everything I am supposed to do. Fine, our work comes with back and forth. You send to them, they send back to you to review, and so on and so forth. So I always find time to balance it up. I wouldn't lie, there are sometimes where it gets choking. It chokes you a lot where you might even forget when to pray when you are in deep in this work. But then I always find time to balance it out. Reading the Holy Quran and giving alms to the poor. And then helping my mom to give foods to the needy. Feed people who don't have what to eat. And then before iftar, we'll take out food, share around. Those are the things I do. The last 10 days is always a part of Ramadan where I always look forward to. Probably the more, I think generally everybody does too. I have this concept in my mind that my sins are going to be cleansed. This last 10 days, like, definitely I'm going to be free, because it says like habits. I would say no, because I don't think I have bad or wayward habits that I want to. Probably I would say spiting of people or the way I address people. I think probably the way I address people, I do that in a more suitable manner now, in a more cooling manner, because you don't know who is who, you don't know who you meet in the future, you get. So there are positions where you're being put where you might want to misbehave because of the power you have, but then you tend to you're not going to be here forever. So I think that was in my curriculum or my way of life last year or 2 years ago, but I think that's over now, more better. Eid celebration is special because after 29 or 30 days of intense fasting, prayers, spiritual discussions with your Lord, abstinence from a lot of things. I mean, like, abstinence from a lot of things, you tend to look at, this is the final day. The celebration, the killing of the ram, meeting with friends, engaging in activities. You tend to look at this day as a memorable day, that this is not something I want to forget. So I'd rather not do something bad, do something worthwhile, something that is in line with Islam, something that makes you like better. It's not like after you've used 29 days or 30 days to be a good Muslim or to be spiritual with your Lord, you now use the final day to spoil it. No, that's not what Eid is all about. On the Eid day, everybody is out in joyful colors, marching down to go and pray to their Lord. So on the celebration, on that day, everybody is on top mood. Their mood is always perfect. You get to meet your friends, people that you've never seen in a while. You see them at the masjid, hey, assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum. And then the tradition of going in one way and then going back the other way. So it's always a thing to look forward to and something that you want to have for years to come. So Almighty Allah should always keep us safe to the final day of Ramadan. It's what most people start the month of Ramadan, but then they don't get to meet it. We are not using it to spite them, but I always say to my friends that we are the lucky ones. Like when you get to the final day or any other day, like people that are dead are not unlucky, but we are the lucky ones. So getting to the final day of Ramadan is always very joyful to us and to everybody around the world. You will see even people from other religions are coming to congratulate you. That shows how elaborate it is. That shows that you've accomplished, even you yourself, you feel it, that there's a step down that you feel that, yes, I've accomplished something. So that's what the last day means to me.